Hi, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and we're going to get started in a few minutes. But if you can hear me and if you could see my screen, I'd appreciate it if you use the little chat panel there to let me know. Mhm. And see the screen. I can hear you. Yeah, and you can see the screen. Good. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah. Okay. We'll get started here in just a minute. So I do see some new people. Let's see here. Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, if you're new to Listings to Leads, let me know how long you've been with us in the chat panel. And also kind of what brought you here. Like, was it a coach? Was it your office? Did you do a Google search and you sort of heard about us? It's kind of good to know how you found us. Maybe you were looking for a certain tool, but I'm going to start the class now and we'll kind of get into it. If you have questions, feel free to feel free to just put it in the chat panel and we'll address them as we can. So this is the Get Started class, and we're going to talk about what you do if you're a new client, right? Where do you have to start? So I usually start this in terms of knowing where your resources are. Listings to Leads is a real estate advertising platform for agents who have listings and for agents who don't have listings. It doesn't matter if you have listings or not, we're going to help you get buyers and sellers. And we touch a lot of platforms. We touch YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We touch CRMs. We have tools for blogging. We have tools for Craigslist. So there's a whole lot of things that can happen that you can do with the system. And what that really means is it can get really complicated real fast, and then you're an agent and you're overwhelmed and you don't know what's going on. And we want to avoid that sad story. So the beginning of this call, I want to tell you like where the resources are. And the first place I recommend that you go is you scroll right down to the bottom of our page, right, all the way to the bottom, and you'll see a footer there with quick links, and there's a blog. And there's kind of a couple of big things that, well, we're keeping this really fresh. So there's kind of two major things that stand out in the blogs that you'll see over and over is our Facebook ad generator, which creates ads in about 20 seconds for Facebook. You get leads with phone numbers. You're going to see a lot of things about our ways to get more listings and the tools that help you get more listings. And probably the third thing you're going to see is actually covered right here. It says, did you know we have PDFs now in Spanish, right? So we have 50 PDF reports that are connected to Facebook ads. Now I'm going to show you these things anyway, but the blog is just a good resource to have. to sort of learn more about the system. Another great resource is our Mastermind Group. And so if you're a new client, we would have invited you to this group. But if you didn't get in the group, you need to get in the group. It's a place where Scott and I share what's going on, the new technology that's going on. We share our recorded webinars right here. So this call here is being recorded. If you go here to this magnifying glass and type in the words recorded webinar, you will see all the recorded webinars, right? So if you want to learn about what's going on, you can see that some of these tools are about how to get more listings and others about Facebook ads and things like that. So whatever it is you want to learn, it's all going to be right there in the Mastermind Group kind of right away. But the Mastermind Group is not just for us, not for Scott and I to talk. It's also for our clients who want to share things, right? Like this guy here, we're sharing something that it's taking a long time to do something. So this person here is talking about one of our top ways of getting listings. So she's excited and sharing it with everybody that she's following our stuff here. Brent here, just a couple days ago, came in and said, hey, I've run 2 ads and I've got 45 leads in 3 days, right? And so he's psyched. And so we always appreciate that. But then he even gives more details, so you can really learn like why did it work so well? And when somebody else said, hey, I got 5 leads, right? You really have to learn. I think when it comes to the science of Facebook ads, the technology side, we got that down cold. When it comes to how the art of it, well, there is still more to learn, right? And there are ways, and right here in one post, you're seeing one agent say, I got 5 leads, and you got one agent saying, I got 45 leads, right? What's the difference? Well, the difference is actually discusses it pretty thoroughly right here. So you can learn from the Mastermind Group. You can learn about our system. You can just also learn just, broader subjects. What office are you from? Coldwell Banker, Holland. Yeah, you're from the Schmidt family. And yeah, well, welcome, Sarah. I don't think I've seen you on this call before. I'm glad you're here. So these are 2 major resources. Another big resource is our awesome support team. And inside your account is a support tab right here. If you have any question, put that question in this box, right? Because our whole support team will respond, right? They're all watching it. And also when you put it through this page, we can see what account you're coming from, right? And if you want to put in a screenshot, or if you want to say, hey, this particular page is not looking right or whatever, you can paste it there and we can see it all. We can address it quickly. So those are kind of the support things. Those are the ways of kind of getting your arms around the platform. So when you come into listings to leads the first time, we're probably going to drop you on this get started page. And there's some wizards here to kind of get things going. If you're a new client, definitely you want to go here. Our support team actually does a real minor setup on everybody's account if you sign up as an agent on our website. But we're going to say finish your profile if you need to add your photograph, import your listings. If you're from an office, we set up the listing imports so you don't have to. But if you're an agent, you want to kind of go do that. My Farm Dominator is a way to borrow listings, and we pull them in and we make tools that you can run ads on and capture leads with. Let me stop this. Give me a second. Disturb. Create a listing ad. So from these 2 steps up here, you've got listings in your account now. Now we go here and create a listing ad on Facebook. Then we create a home value ad. Then we turn on social media auto posting, which is pretty awesome. And then we create a landing page and we share it for home values. Like all this happens in the wizard, which just takes a few minutes to do. So that's one part of getting started. But what I want you to know is kind of like, there are a lot of things that listings to leads does. what are the things that you absolutely want to do to get the needle moving in your business, right? Where are they? I think you want to concentrate on these two sections, the listing section and the ad section, okay? And I also think there are landing pages. I'll show you how to create them. And then once you create the landing page, you can run an ad with them on the ad section, right? There's other cool stuff. We're actually rearranging this because the things I just showed you are really the tools that are impactful, that get inside, that people see, and that you can capture leads with. So let's start with the listing section. And I want to point out, even before we get into this, is that even if you don't have your own listings, you can borrow listings. If you've got the permission from a colleague, you can say grab active listing and just deselect this, type in the zip code and the MLS listing ID, and it will pull a listing in, and it will sit right here on this box, right, in your list. Now I'm going to edit this one over here. And I'm going to say, what is it? It's an open house, right? And you might do that. You might actually borrow a listing because you're going to sit on an open house. So if you save this, like I have just now, it's just going to, make an update. And we'll see here, it takes a little bit because it's touching a bunch of tools. But a lot of agents do sit on open house. And I know, that some of you have like COVID restrictions and you can't even have an open house, but generally speaking, you can do this sorts of things. And if you're not the listing agent, but you're just going to sit there for a couple hours and talk to people and hopefully find buyers, you definitely want to borrow the listing, just like I did here. And we're going to send you automatically a bunch of tools, right? It's going to be in your email, but I'm working inside the system. So let's concentrate on the tools that get the most bang for the buck. And I'm going to check this box here. It says your social media, seller social media, e-flyer for your database, and print marketing, okay? This particular home is an open house, but you should actually do these 4 actions when it's just listed. If you can, when it's coming soon, definitely do it, it's coming soon. But if not, when it's just listed, you should take these 4 steps. And maybe when it's pending, you do it, but definitely when it's sold, you do these 4 steps again. So when I checked the box, all it did is it put a little calendar event here. It didn't actually do anything other than that. When we click this button over here on the right, it opens up the workstation, work area for that step. And right here, I told you about social media auto posting. It's telling me this is scheduled to get auto posted in 18 minutes. Okay, so when we set up the open house, like I mentioned earlier, we email a bunch of tools to you automatically, like this one here, right? So you'll get a little hyperlink in your email, and they'll say this is for your social media. A lot of people will open that email, and they'll open this up, and they'll click this little button over here that says Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and then write something, right? Write something here like, hey, check it out, whatever you're gonna do, right? And you could post it yourself, right, if you want to do that. But like I've been saying, we've got social media auto posting, and I actually auto posted this back in May. So what's that look like, right? And it actually looks like this. This was an automated post on LinkedIn. It's got emojis, it's got hashtags, it's got this really cool graphic, and most importantly, if you click on this post, it drives us to this page that we automatically created for you. Now on this page, there's not a lot of detail about the home, right? If I want the detail, you got to click this button here. And when we click that button there, we grab the name and email of the person who clicked the button, and we deliver it to you, the agent, and we drop them on the single property website, which has all the information about the home. So I see a question here, and feel free to ask them anytime. I borrowed a listing, but failed to use grab listings, and it shows if it's, you can't, I don't think you can change that. So did you manually create the listing, Elizabeth? I don't think you can change it, but you can certainly ask support and maybe they can help you change that. So now that we're on the single property website, I want to talk about one kind of side concept, right? Like something that's unique about listings to leads that not a lot of people know. It's in our mastermind group, actually. I'm going to do a search. Terry Wicks. Terry was a new client, and she came and asked this question: who is getting 2 listings or more per month strictly from listings to leads tools? Okay, and a bunch of our clients jumped in and answered the questions. I started this, it's all working good. But this one here is actually really good. He said, we average 2 listings from each marketed listing, all from L2L tools, Facebook ads, mailers, and open houses. Trying to get that to above 3 this year. So what he's saying is every time he markets a listing, he's trying to get 3 more listings from just marketing that listing. And I want to point that out. I want to stress that and slow down right here, because you often as agents think there is some great magic pill, great new technology that's just going to get you listing leads. Most people, most realtors think it's a page like this that says, what is your home worth? And mine's broken for some reason. There used to be a really cool picture back there. And that you would run an ad on Facebook. And that's how you would get listing leads to grow your business. It's actually at the bottom of our list of the best things to do to get listings is to run a home value out on Facebook. But I want to point out that this is an open house. This property, the status is open house. And as you scroll down, you would see the things you would expect with an open house. But then you see something that you wouldn't expect. What is your home worth, right? And you see the photos, you see the map, you see the schools, you see your Zillow reviews if you got them, and more listings. And then you see what is your home worth again, right? And as you noted, I have a link right here that says, what is your home worth? But also when the call to action pops up, it asks, do you own a home? And the reason why we ask this and the reason why we have those what is your home worth things there is that we know what you know, which is that people will be researching the market for weeks or months long before they talk to you as a realtor to sell their home. So if they're looking as buyers, we want to ferret out, are they a seller? And so all of our single property websites, which is what we're looking at now, our virtual tours and our e-flyers and our print flyers have this concept of here's a home for sale, but let's see if you're a homeowner, right? So that's an important thing. Yeah, so Elizabeth, you manually added it, so you could delete it and grab it or just forget about it for now. Or you could just edit your property description in the listing information and just say, listing courtesy of whoever, right? And then that will show up kind of front and center on most of the tools. Okay, that's a workaround. So if we go back to the listings, we were just on step number 1, right? And step number 1 is actually done automatically, right? To Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Step number 2 is for your seller social media. Now, we just covered how we're doing it automatically for your social media. So what in the world is this? This is emailed to you. This letter, I'm working inside the system, so it looks different than in your email. But it basically gives you some instructions. And I think a lot of our clients ignore this one. And I think it's primarily because the instructions are so weird. But this is how it's meant to work. You're meant to forward the email that we send to you and wipe out everything that client doesn't need and send it to them, right? And when you do, okay, what's the problem here? When you send it to them, call them for 5 seconds and just say, hey, I just sent you, what's the problem here? I just sent you an email. Would you copy what I sent you and put it on Facebook for me? We're holding your open house this weekend, and we want to make sure as many people can see it as possible. So this might be a little confusing because my name is Vincent Meza and I'm talking about me, Vincent Meza at LTL Realty. This would be your client, the homeowner, talking about you as holding an open house. And so the great thing about that is you can probably guess if you click on that, there's a landing page or a single property website that will capture them as a lead. But more importantly, this is your client telling all their friends and family on Facebook that you are their realtor, right? All their colleagues, everybody that they share the food pics and the pet pics and the vacation pics, they're telling all those people that you are their realtor. And that's really the target audience for your referrals. It's the people that your clients already know. So this is a great tool to say, hey, would you put that on your wall? We want to capture more buyers, but also you're getting the word out that you're their realtor. The other thing is, this is not like a Facebook ad. If you know anything about Facebook ads, they expire. They expire in 4 days, 7 days, no more than 30 days, it's going to be visible. But this kind of post here, it stays forever until the client actually deletes it. And what's great is these posts work and they capture leads way down the road, like months later, and our clients are totally surprised that they're getting listing leads. Even though it was an open house, this is sitting out there for months, and one of their relatives, if your clients logs in when they go, oh, they sold their house, oh, I'm gonna go look at it. Oh, I can get my home value from the realtor that just helped my relative. It's a really high quality listing lead. So I see some questions here from Tyler. For the auto social media posting, I see that it created the content automatically, but does it automatically post to the social pages, or do you have to push it? So this post here automatically happens. It's automatically, and just as you see it here, it's automatically happening. There is, and Tyler probably saw it, a button that says push post. And this is back to your social media. That's if you maybe turned on social media auto posting later, or maybe you got some new photos of the property and you want to run another ad on it. You want to push it again. You can refresh your photos in the background in the edit section and then go push it. If you push it here, it's going to kind of look like this. It's going to tell you, okay, post it now or schedule it. That's what push post is for. But otherwise, these posts like this one on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook, they're automatic. Once you turn it on, as soon as the listing hits, we're going to post it. The one thing though that I will say to everybody on the call is, we get your listings from a company called ListHub, and we always know when it's just listed, right? We don't find out about it if it's coming soon, but we don't always know when it goes pending and when it's sold. So what you want to do is take advantage of this section right here to say, hey, it's pending now, or it just sold. And once you change the status, we're going to auto post it. We're going to auto post it right back to those same social media platforms, but instead of saying open house, it's going to say just sold. And an important part of listings to leads is when a home is sold or in a later status, we're not looking for buyers anymore, right? Because buyers are not looking at sold properties. Homeowners are looking at sold properties. So this is a single property website for a home that's sold, and the call to action is offering a free home value. We're not looking for buyers. So it's smart to run sold ads, right? It's smart to use our tools for in marketing sold listings if you want more listings, right? Some people, well, most people want more listings. So if you want more listings, using our tools in the sold statuses is good. I could really forward that to anyone, right? Yeah, you could. Yes, Michael, you could take that page and just forward it. Yeah, totally. You don't have to use the social media auto posting. That's why when we email it, like I was saying earlier, this tool is emailed to you. It's in your email. You can open it and go, boom, I'm going to send it wherever I want to send it. And frankly, a lot of agents do what I'm showing you here is we're going to post this to your social media. And that's cool because it happens automatically. You don't even have to touch it, right? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. But a lot of our clients are like, oh no, I'm going to send that thing all over the place. There are a lot of free areas on the internet where if I get this out there, I'm going to get leads, right, for free. So a lot of realtors take extra steps. I'm just showing you the basics, right? So we covered your social media. We want to get that tool on the seller social media so you can get some leads and get some referrals. Then we've got this e-flyer for your database. If you're an agent with a CRM with hundreds or thousands of leads, you might have noticed that your phone is not ringing off the hook from those leads in your CRM, right? And that's because CRMs, you definitely want a CRM, and you want a drip campaign on it. But most drip campaigns are kind of stale right out of the box, right? And that's because they've got a lot of text, right? Maybe there's 50, maybe there's 20, maybe there's a year's worth of drip campaign going on. And what it is it's like you can read something about real estate, and there is your name and email at the bottom of the post of the mail that you sent them. That's not really that compelling. Instead, you can copy this. We actually recommend this for every agent to do this once a week, minimum twice a month. Copy the code, which copies this weird stuff here. This is HTML. Go to your CRM or your MailChimp or your Constant Contact, paste it in, then click the source button so it looks graphic, and blast it out, right? Now this one says it's sold, right? This home is sold. Click this link or click that picture to find out more. By the way, that affected your home value. So go here if you want to find your free home value, right? Then there's a great lead gen signature. This is part of Listings to Leads, all your favorite hyperlinks to your website. That's all on one flyer that you can blast out, right? So I'm going to go back here to the listing section, and I'm going to go to my open house and show you the same flyer for an open house, right? So again, you can copy it and take it over, but this says, hey, we've got an open house this weekend, right? Click here to go there and become a buyer lead for me. When that home is sold, it will affect your home value. So click this and go there, right? So our marketing for marketing listings to get buyers actually incorporates getting sellers. And this is one of those reasons why our clients get listings when they're marketing their listings, right? Now, the last one in this section that I'm going to cover is the nearby homeowner letter. And this is very important because you would think, I think when agents are thinking of how am I going to get listings, they're thinking something high tech or thinking something social media or internet related, right? This is the #1 tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. You see this, it says, we got an open house. And you could door knock this. You look at it here, you download it on your own computer, go print up 50 or 100 copies and go door knock this letter. Or you can mail it, right? You can bulk mail it, you can mail it however you want to get it out. But it basically says, we've got an open house in your neighborhood, which already is qualifying you as being a professional in the neighborhood. They can type in that web address on their own little computer, and they're going to go to a page that's going to capture them as buyer lead. And then it's going to say, but when that home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So you can type in this web address and become a seller lead, right? Well, who is going to take a piece of paper to their own computer and type that in? Only the people who are the most serious, right? It's not like an internet ad where it's just sort of floating around. I can click on it and I can be looking at my TV and walk away from it. This is somebody who took a physical piece of paper to their own computer and they typed in that web address and it drove them to a landing page that we created automatically for you. And that will send the lead to you, right? This page is what many of our clients take and go run Facebook ads, and they're confused of why they're not getting great leads, or if they get leads, it's taking forever to convert. It's because it's a pretty wide random internet lead, right? And I could explain to you why. I will show you a few things why it's not effective on Facebook to run ads like this anymore. It's still, I recommend it, but it's not high quality leads. Whereas this, it's a target area that you are controlling. You know where it's going, and if you got a listing and you want more listings in that neighborhood, this is the #1 tool to get. Okay. Now let's go back to the mastermind group, and let's just beat this for a little while, right? I'm going to type in Chris Winstead. Chris came in last summer, and he was kind of a new client to us, right? And he got pretty excited because he's showing us the envelopes that he's dropping off. But this is really, I think, one of the best posts that I've seen in quite a while. He said, "Hey, I've got 5 listings in my own neighborhood in 3 months," right? Many of you are realtors and you would love to work locally. You might live in a great neighborhood that you want more listings in. It doesn't matter. Maybe there's a farm area that you just want to develop. This right here is how to do it. Now, you might think it's that super slick video. That is not it. It's a cool video and I like it. But actually, the crux of it, the meat of the matter is right here. He says, I send out letters every other week, every 2 weeks, to people who've owned their homes for 5 years or more, right? I send out these letters, right? And he says, after they opt in to the home valuation landing page, I consistently contact them every week, right? So after they take this physical piece of paper and type that in, and he gets their contact info, every other week he phone calls them, bomb messages, letters via mail, or letters left at the door, right? And that's it. I mean, that might look like a lot of hard work. It actually, the follow-up is for real. It is, that is the real, deal here. Getting a list of people with equity, maybe you got to talk to your title partners. I know there's some other companies, even your MLSs can help you sometimes. You pull that list together and you start getting letters like that to the market. It's just a really smart way of getting more leverage with this. But most of our clients just print out 100 or print out 200, and they'll just door knock them and just say, hey, we're selling a home in your neighborhood right over here, right? Who is going to go type in that web address? Only the people who are considering selling. So that's the listing side. There are great blog tools if you're a big blogger. If you're into Craigslist, we got a tool there for you. When we create a YouTube virtual tour automatically and auto load it to your virtual tour, to your YouTube channel. Tyler, we also can auto generate virtual tours, send all of your whole office's listings to your office YouTube page, and each agent, as they log in, can send their own virtual tours to their own page, right? So everybody can use this, right? And it's all automatically done. You don't even have to touch it. Once you set it up, it's done. So that's the listing side. I'm going to kind of go into the landing page section. We give you 3 landing pages right off the bat. Free home values, which you've looked at. New construction, which, it's kind of, you can customize this. You can change the words. You can fix that clock, which has died there. We've got a new a down payer assistance one, and these 3 pages are created automatically, and you can run ads on them from the ad generator, or you can just copy the link and go share it somewhere and write something yourself, right? And of course, you can customize this page, right? You can customize the words and all the things there. But I've also got a lot of custom landing pages, and you should have your own landing pages, some custom ones. Now, I want to just sort of say, like, this is a custom landing page for a particular development. And what you don't want to create is a landing page that says, hey, sign up for a free list of Orlando homes for sale, or sign up for a free list of Philadelphia homes, because The market is smart enough to know I can just go right to the internet and see homes for sale all day long, right? So that's not a great way of creating a buyer landing page for buyers. But if you've got a specific kind of business that you're targeting or specific kind of homes, like waterfront homes, lakefront homes, golf course homes, a particular development like this, maybe horse properties, right? There's certain niche real estate. Well, then you can ask somebody to sign up for that, right? They know it's a particular kind of home that they're looking for, and you've got access or an expertise in that. So you can customize these landing pages to do that, and I'll show you in a couple minutes how you run ads to drive traffic to it. But one thing that you definitely want to have is this property valuation plus. So the free home value page is kind of what we call the generic one that we give you. Excuse me. Property valuation plus is how you create your own. And you should actually have one of these for every town where you want listings, okay? And I'll show you why. Like, so I live in a small town called Lafayette, right? And right next to it is Alamo and Walnut Creek over there. It's like, you know, these are 5-10 minutes away. There's also Pleasant Hill, right? So these are all towns with like 20, 30,000 people. And you want to speak to the Pleasant Hill people and let them know that you know their neighborhood. This is a new mall. This is one of the newest malls. It's like called Crescent Circle Drive, right? So obviously there's a theater, there are the restaurants, there's all kinds of cool stuff. And people that live in Pleasant Hill, they go hang out here, right? And so if you're going to run an ad on Facebook, you definitely want to kind of convey that you know the area. None of us wants to go to a random landing page on the internet and give people our address and their contact information, right? Why in the world would you do that? And why would you think that other people want to do that, right? Why would somebody want to go to a generic landing page and just, oh, I'm just going to give people my address and my contact information? It doesn't happen. And agents are often bewildered, like, why didn't that work? Well, the first point is they don't know who you are, and there is nothing there to convey any sort of trust. This has your Zillow reviews. It also has like a picture of the neighborhood. And so when you create a landing page for your neighborhoods, for your towns, and you can even say, hey, I want to do a particular neighborhood in a town, you would customize it with a photograph of that. I've got one here of, I think for Release Valley. Yeah, Release Valley is this super sweet part of Lafayette. I mean, it's big acreage properties and they're multi-million-dollar homes, but there's a big swimming club right at the beginning of this one street that gets you in there. So this really speaks to that. And I want to kind of hammer this a bit because agents often think, I need to put $1 million mansion on the back of that page. That's what's going to get people to click. And it doesn't. I can't remember who is here from Coldwell Banker Schmidt, but I set up Coldwell Banker Summit years ago. And when I set up offices, I do trainings just like this for the offices. You are signing up as an agent, and so and all of our clients are welcome to these, but I will like do these trainings for the agents and for the whole office when we set up offices. And the manager called me after we set up Summit Diner like a month later. He said, God, we're getting leads all over the place, but our number one home value ad is the one with a picture of the Summit Diner in the background, right? And why would that be? Well, this is a converted railroad car, right? It has nothing to do with real estate, but it's on Main Street in a town of 25,000 people. And if you know this place, you know Summit, New Jersey, right? And that's what you're trying to convey. I know your area and I can get you a great home value. I know what's going on here. So that's an important factor. You want to click the edit pencil. It's a pencil. Whenever you see a pencil in listings leads, it means you can edit it and you can go change that. Now, another, this is kind of buried. This is kind of like our bad design here. But on the edit section of all of these landing pages is an advanced options section. And there's a really cool tool here under print marketing, which is, it's like a letter, like that other one that I was telling you, which is the top letter. Remember I said this is the top way to get listing leads. It's about a listing. Well, what if you don't have a listing, right? You could borrow a listing, you can still get that. But what if you don't want to do that? Well, we create a letter based on that landing page, and all you do is just edit, right? And say, well, this is about Pleasant Hill. So you could just edit over here where I clicked edit there. And you could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to say whatever the real numbers are. 200 homes sold in Pleasant Hill this year, and 50 sold last month, and the high is here, and the trend is going here. You're not writing a novel. You're just updating these 4 lines right here, right? And then the rest is all pre-done, and it's going to drive them to landing pages to capture buyers and sellers. So you don't even need listings to get listings, right? It's just tools that are inside the system. So it's a little bit about the landing page section. But the thing about the landing pages is, people aren't going to find them. So you got to put them in high traffic areas. So how do you do that? Well, running an ad is the way to do it. So over here is an ad section. And when you come here, this ad section looks, if you come here for the first time, it looks totally blank, okay? And there'll be one big button, and it'll say connect to your Facebook account. And you should click that. There's also a video underneath it, and you can watch that, and it shows you what's going to happen when you click the button. But you click the button, and it says continue as you and your personal name, and you say yes. And then it will say, okay, what business pages do you want to reflect? And you check the box, and then you click okay and done, and it brings you right back here, and it says these 3 things. You can create a listing ad, you can create a landing page ad, or you can create a PDF report ad, okay? Now, if you see this thing pop up, there's something about retargeting and custom audiences. Except retargeting, it is super powerful. It's kind of like not even 30 days old, and it's awesome. I will show you in detail what that's about. But let's just go create a listing ad, right? I had a listing that was open house we were looking at earlier, so let's just click it. If you want, leave it, well, I recommend you leave it on lead ads because we're looking for leads, we're looking for buyer leads, and click create ad. And this is what the ad looks like over here on the right. You'll notice it's sponsored by Listings to Leads. That's because I'm, with Listings to Leads. Yours is going to be sponsored by your business page, whatever you chose. You only need to do 3 things. Create the form, and then create the form here. This is the form that Facebook auto-populates. They give you their name, phone number, and email as they appear in the Facebook profiles of the people who click. Type in the location. I'm going to type in, well, this one was in Berkeley, so I'm going to type in Berkeley. And you can change the radius, if you want to. We put a minimum, well, Facebook requires a minimum 15-mile radius. You might want to expand that, 30 miles, something like that, depending on where you live, right? So all you got to do is create the form, type in the location, and then publish, okay? Now I clicked that button by mistake. But when you publish, it's going to make the ad for 7 days for $35. So that's $5 a day. Now this is something that you should know if you don't know about Facebook ads. This is called pay-per-click advertising, PPC, pay-per-click. Every time somebody clicks on the ad, they chew off a little bit of your 35 bucks. And depending where you are on the country, that could be as little as 33 cents. It could be as much as over $2 a click. On average, it's about $1 a click for a buyer lead. Okay, so if you run an ad for 35 bucks, you can kind of assume you're going to get maybe 30, 35 leads, right? So if we go find our mastermind group, let's go back to the home page again. Let's see if I can get us there again real quick. There, yeah. You'll see that this guy, this agent came in and he goes, hey, I ran 2 ads, $35 each for 1 week, $70 total spend. It's only 3 days. I've already got 45 new leads. How did he do that? He did exactly what we're doing right here, okay? Now, what he didn't talk about, and I don't blame him because it's really brand new, is this, checking this box, retarget current leads. This is something that I have avoided talking about for years because it's something that you could do in Facebook, and most realtors are not tech savvy at all. Like, that's like a chorus that I've been listening to for 10 years. People call me, I want this or that. I'm not very tech savvy, right? Okay, that's how it is. So I would not talk about retargeting, but I'm going to talk about it right now because we have got it, we have coded it. So all you got to do is turn it on and then check this box, and we will start to create a custom audience for you. And you create the custom audience in your own Facebook account. We're going to create 3 custom audiences. One will be all leads, one will be buyer leads, and one will be seller leads. For you, I recommend that you just retarget all your leads. And what that means is, let's say you ran an ad last week and you collected 35 leads. They're going to sit in this file, and you might be thinking, wow, all 35 leads, they're going to just turn into business. In one hit, they saw my ad and they're going to like make a call with me and have an appointment. And that is great in like imagination land, but that is not reality. Reality is you're going to have to get in front of them multiple times. And with retargeting, you can say, yeah, send those leads, make sure they see this ad too. All the other people that live within 15 miles of Berkeley right there, they're going to see the ad, but also the people in my custom audience, okay? And for those of you who have been clients for years, you have collected a lot of leads. I mean, I was talking to an office just a couple months ago who generated 5,000, 6,000 leads last year in our system. And you definitely want to keep, you want to convert those leads, not just collect email addresses. So running ads in front of them again on Facebook is a really smart way of converting leads, right? You're letting them know, hey, I've got an open house. Hey, I just sold something. Hey, we've got something just listed, right? You're retouching those leads until you get them to convert, right? So that's what retargeting is. And what I was saying is, if you have a lot of leads, we're going to sweep any leads that you collected with listings to leads and put it in Facebook automatically. A lot of agents, and this is outside of listings leads, I'm just going to tell you so you understand. Like, you may have been a client of Zillow, right? And you might have 1,000 Zillow leads sitting in a CRM somewhere or in a file somewhere doing nothing. You could actually take those to Facebook and say, I want to create a custom audience, and I'm going to call it my Zillow leads. And then come and run an ad right here and say, I want those old Zillow leads to see that, right? You knew at some point they were interested in real estate, so why not stay in front of them until they actually do a transaction? So that's how you run, well, this is an open house ad, right? Now notice it says open house, click here for info, a little bit of info here. Let's go back to the ads tab and let's run a sold ad, right? So I'm going to create a listing ad, and I'm going to use a sold property, and I'm going to leave it on lead ads, and I'm going to click create ad. And notice it says this home is sold. That affected your home value, right? And get your free estimate. So this ad, because it's sold, is designed to get you more listing leads. What do you got to do? Well, you got to click this button and say create the form. Click the button down there, type in the location, and publish. You'll notice that this one, maybe you can see it, is 50 bucks. So Facebook knows that for the real estate community, listing leads are more valuable than buyer leads. So guess what? They charge you more. So that's why we increase the budget. That budget is going to be charged by your credit card on your own Facebook account, okay? And you want to make sure, so in this case, seller leads on average cost about $5 a click, right? So that's a $50 budget, going to expire in 7 days. You could expect about 10 leads, right, from sold. You could also retarget, right? Again, you want to tell people you're selling property, so you can retarget and target those other people who you've captured before in the past. And that's that's the crazy thing about capturing leads. A lot of you have had websites that you could see their lead. Oh, these people were in my system coming in for years. They were looking at 3 bedrooms and they're going here and there. I was watching them, and then I see them go sell their house with another agent. Why in the world is that happening? I mean, that's just a crazy making experience. Well, this is going to help alleviate that, because you're going to be having ads go out, touching those people not only through your CRM, but through Facebook, and then they can click and become a buyer or seller lead again, right? Okay, so that's how you market listings. Now, you remember I was showing you my landing pages that I was creating. So I'm going to click on create a landing page ad, and I want to go to my Pleasant Hill page, right? And I want to run ads. So this is a home value one. I'm going to create the ad, and I'm going to talk about home value ads, because this is something that many agents think is the way to go, right? This is like what I got to do. And honestly, it's not. I don't blame agents, because if you listen to any, real estate guru, or if you listen to Scott and myself talk for 5 years, we were training on Facebook ads every week, trying to help agents understand how to use this. But about 3 years ago, Facebook had to make some significant changes in their platform, and the home value ads they're not very helpful. The leads are pretty weak. And one of the reasons is this. You see, this is about Pleasant Hill. So you would think I want to type in Pleasant Hill, right? And if I type in Pleasant Hill, California, I can only minimum radius 15 miles, right? Now, I don't think you guys know where Pleasant Hill is, so let me just do a quick search and show you something here. Pleasant Hill, right? Pleasant Hill is in Contra Costa County, and it's surrounded by all these other towns, right? Just like you guys live in places like that. A 15-mile radius gets way out here to Berkeley and all these other towns. So all these people in all these other towns are going to see my Pleasant Hill ad, right? And they might just be curious about, well, what is, I'm interested in my home value. So they click on it, they chew up 5 of your dollars, of your $50, and they land on a page, that says something like, what is your Pleasant Hill home worth? So it's really not very effective, because they live in Alamo, 10 miles away, right? And they're like, oh, I'm really hoping to get my home value. They don't know that it's going to help them get home value. This page works all over the country. It doesn't matter what word you have there. But what realtors kind of think is, can I just run a Bucks County? Can I run a county-wide ad? And will that work? And it doesn't work just because of our own human nature, right? I live in Contra Costa County in a town called Lafayette, but in Contra Costa County, the home prices on average start at 300,000 in some areas, and probably average 2 million in other areas, right? So I don't want to talk to you if you're going to talk to me about the county. I want to talk to you if you're going to talk to me about Lafayette or Pleasant Hill, which is where I own my home, right? So that's why these ads on home value on Facebook, they're not super effective. I do recommend that every agent, whether they're a client of ours or not, runs a home value ad at least once a month. More for branding. As you see, it's sponsored by Listings to Leads. And it's going to be sponsored by you. And when you run an ad like this, 1,000, 2,000 people are going to see it, and they're going to recognize that you're a professional that can get them a home value, right? That's good for your branding, and that's really a smart way to use Facebook. So that's one of the home value, or that's how you can run a landing page ad. I showed you that you can customize landing pages earlier, and so those are all those custom landing pages are down here, and you can run ads on those as well. But a really cool piece we just added is PDF reports. Now we have 50 PDF reports, 25 for buyers and 25 for sellers. If you want to see the PDF reports, I'm going to click on the seller one here, 25 factors that impact your stuff. So you can download it right here, or you can just click create an ad, right? And when you create the ad, it's got this new look over on the right. You're going to create the form, you're going to type in the location, and you're going to publish, right? Now you can customize things, but I think all you really need to know is when they respond, we're going to give them the ability to download the report. So you don't even have to mess with it, right? Now, I will say this is kind of blue over here, but let me kind of back up. This is very new. The PDF reports is very new. And I think if you go to the library, there's a section called media from the library. You'll see, I think, settings, and you can change the color theme, right? And you can see some of the big brands here. You can change it, to Coldwell Banker if you want. But there's some big, some big brands here. What we're working on is that whatever your profile says, in your profile, there's actually a color scheme under the appearance section. Whatever that is going to flow through and be in there. So you shouldn't have to do it twice, basically. But because of the way we did it, we kind of came out quickly with the PDFs, and then we said, oh, well, let's let them brand it. We should have just managed it right here, but that'll be changed in the next couple weeks. But a great thing about PDF reports is you can see you've got them for buyers and for sellers. If you should be using these first-time home buyer guide, right? And not only should you be using them, you should be using them in retargeting, right? Again, remember, you've got those old leads. You want to make sure that they know that you're a great resource in real estate. There are 50 reports here for you, for buyers and for sellers. If you want to, I think we've even got them, I don't know where they are, but we've even got them in Spanish. Let me go over here. See, I can't remember where it is. But if I click a PDF report, yeah, look at that. You can go into Spanish. We translated all of these. So if you're in a market where that's going to help you, well, then use that. But this, when you retarget, you're not just getting new leads, you're touching the old leads, right? And you're letting them know, hey, I've got a lot of, valuable information as a real estate professional. And, using PDF reports to convert leads is great, right? So that's kind of the story. If you've got questions here, there's a lot more to listings to leads, right? I mean, you go to your profile over here. I didn't even mention it earlier. You can turn on social media auto posting here. You can configure to your CRM here so that all your leads go in automatically. We do have discounted team and office accounts. So if you need that, you just ping me, Vince@listingstoleads.com. These other tabs here are important, but they're not as important as listings and ads and landing pages. This is really the important part of the system that touches consumers and where you get the leads. Image editor, this is some cool thing that we've created. If you just want to bury, a bunch of time and create colorful things, go right over there. But if you want more listings and you want more buyers, use the tools that I mentioned, the top 4 tools multiple times. Use it when it's just listed, open house, pending and sold. You're going to get buyers and sellers from just that activity alone. Run ads, use our PDF reports, run ads to get your listings out there. And let me give you one last thing. And if you've got questions, please put them in the chat panel. And this, I talk to realtors every day, and it's still, many people don't know even what to do with Facebook. Like, what in the world is it, right? But I will tell you this, I tell this to any green new realtor. You should have a minimum $200 to $300 budget every month on Facebook ads. It should be spread out on multiple ads. And let's just go with the $200 budget, right? Let's just say you're a new agent, you don't want to blow a lot of money. What should you do? You should create a listing ad. You should borrow a listing and create an ad for it every week for 4 days, okay? And just like I'm doing here, but earlier I showed you that we default to 35, so just change that to 20, right, or 25. It gives you this red thing here because Facebook wants $5 a day minimum to do anything for you. So I'm going to change the days. I'm going to change to $20. So you're running an ad for 4 days. When you run an ad for 4 days, it's going to be seen by 2,000 to 3,000 people, right? Some of those people will click on it. You'll get buyer leads. But you're going to do that once a week, 4 weeks, right? Then in the same week, you're going to run a $30 ad on either a PDF report ad or a landing page ad, right? And it doesn't matter to me which one you want to do. You decide, right? But you're running a $20 ad and a $30 ad. That means you're spending $50 a week. There's usually 4 weeks every month, so that's $200 a month. Now, if you got more listings or you want more leads, push that up. Spend like $300 a month. If you're an agent with 5 listings or more, you probably already know this. You should have a budget of $400 to $500 a month. But just on the $200 a month budget, your ads at the end of the month are going to be seen by 15 to 20,000 people. Okay, and what that means is they're going to see them, and they're going to see your little sponsored thing. So they're going to know that you're a realtor. Your page might be, whatever, Vinny the Rockstar Realtor, right? And so 15 to 20,000 people will see those 8 ads. You'll probably collect 100 to 200 ads a month just from that alone, right? Probably more. I mean, we're seeing better results just from the numbers I saw today, but that's a good conservative number of what's going to go on. You should be doing that consistently month after month, whether you work with listings leads or you don't, right? What is the difference between traffic and lead ads? Yeah, that's good. So a good question. So a lead ad means we're going to have, I'm going to do a lead ad here. And we were talking a lot about lead ads, but Facebook made a significant change 2 months ago. But when we're looking for buyers, lead ads is the way to go, because we're going to get their name, email address, and phone number from the form on Facebook. But when you're looking for sellers, I don't think you want to use lead ads anymore. I think you want to drive traffic. And what that means, the ad's going to look exactly the same way, but it's sold. As I mentioned earlier, our sold properties are designed, that's open house, so I don't know if I have one that's sold here. This is sold. The sold call to action is designed to get a listing lead, not to get a buyer lead. So if you're looking for sellers, I think you need to use traffic, right? And I'm kind of lost here. Also, if you're going to run a home value ad, you want to drive traffic. You want to get people to get here so that the traffic, when they see the ad, they're going to click the ad, they're going to drive that traffic to this landing page. They can drop in their address, click that green button. It's going to ask for their email address. So for them to get a home value, you're going to get the name and email address for those people. A while ago, Facebook was allowing us to put in the form, the actual lead form, which is, I don't know where it is now. You could put name, email, and address. And Facebook stopped that. They didn't, I don't know why they didn't want that yet. Is there an analytics report to show sellers? Yes. And actually, if you go to analytics here, it's an overall look. But when you go to listings, and this is kind of buried a little bit, let's go here. You go to listings. Let's go to this one here on the task. There's an analytics tab, and there's even a report somewhere, tools. Where is it? I think, see, things move so fast around here, I don't even know where it is, but there is a report you can download for that particular thing there. It's actually here, the seller referral leads. Download the traffic report, right? This doesn't have all traffic, like if your listing's on Zillow and Retarget.com, it doesn't have that. It has what's viewable here, right? But a lot of our clients use that in combination, give me 1 second to get there, with this. These views are the ads, right? And you can see how many people were reached, 300, right? 233. How many people clicked? I think that's, yeah, Facebook leads. So you can actually say, hey, we've run ads, we've spent this much money, we've had it seen by thousands of people, we're not getting any buyers, right, or whatever. Or maybe you just want to say that's the activity. So there's two sort of places for analytics there. What else? Okay, yeah, okay. You're welcome. So I don't see any other questions. I kept you all here for an hour. I appreciate the questions. I'm happy to stay longer, but don't forget, get in the mastermind group, get your arms around this platform. I'm going to give you one last thing since you're hanging out this long. This is a blog post called Realtors Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. I'm going to send it to everybody right now, if it allows me. Yeah. It's inside of our blog, and it's actually really useful because it has 6 videos that cover pretty much our whole platform. How do you market listings in detail, even if you borrow the listings? How do you run ads on Facebook? I've run a bunch today, but if you want to see it again, you can see it there. This article right here, the top 7 tools, these are the top tools to get listings. If you want more listings in your business, you want to know all the tools that work, right? I showed you the Nearby Homeowner letter. That's at the top of that list. What do you do when you don't have listings, right? Do you just wrap it up and go home and play golf, or do you use all the tools that we've created for you, right? And then also, I really like this one, free and cheap lead gen. If you really want to grow your business, there's a lot of great areas and avenues to advertise on that don't cost money, and you can use our tools and leverage them in these ways. This video here is if you're paying a professional videographer, or if you use Matterport or one of those 3D kind of services, how can you snap those tools into our tools so that you're actually capturing leads? Like, I like Matterport. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's cool, but it doesn't capture leads at all. That's not what they're designed for. So you can actually embed it in our system. You might have paid a videographer for a really cool video for a home. Maybe you got drone videos of your area. How can you get some leads with that? Well, that video there will cover that. So everybody, thanks again so much. Get in the mastermind group. If you're running ads, we always appreciate to see what's working with you, how it's working. So this call will be in the mastermind group later today. You can always search on recorded webinar, and you'll be able to find it there. Have a good day, everybody. Keep safe.